What's going on, party people? Back with some more Babymonochrome action. Today we're looking at a round 3 winners bracket match between Termnal and Incognition, with the absolute fire avatars, I must say, both players. And a couple things before we get into this one. First of all, I would like to announce that I'm doing the most Canadian thing possible right now. I just baked my hockey skates in the oven, and now I'm molding them to my feet. That is a thing that people do, and this is my first time doing it at home, and honestly, I feel like it's not going to work. Second thing is I had my round 3, I'm recording this on Sunday, by the way. I just had my round 3 match against Winterbub, who I was going to make a shout out in the video too, and actually link their YouTube page, which I'll link at the bottom of this video. But I just want to say, I was going to make a video on that match, but I played terrible. I don't even want to. I don't know, maybe it's still fresh, and I mean, let me know if you want to see my round 3 match, but it didn't go good. I lost. I'm out of the tournament. I mean, I lost in 2. It was pretty brutal. I mean, game 2, I think I played a lot better, but game 1, just terrible situation with the timber in the first few turns. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, let me know if you want to see that, if you want to see a commentated match of that, but I don't know. It was kind of embarrassing, I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to put that one in a video. So yeah, Termnal, Incognition. So both players here are coming out of the winner's bracket here. One of them is going to be falling to the loser's bracket after this match. Two very capable players. We'll start with Termnal's side. They're bringing a Ponyta, which again is a Pokemon we see. I've been kind of underwhelmed every time I see Ponyta, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, you gotta think there's some better fire types in this tier, but I don't know. We haven't seen too many fire types. But then again, I mean, with Chinchou and some other Pokemon floating around that can just handle fire types pretty well, I can kind of see why we don't really see them a whole lot, but Ponyta seems to be the fire type of choice, at least for today. A Mindfu, Abra, Diglett, Ghastly, Chinchou, very standard Pokemon, and again, it's a question of, is this a Volt Absorb or a Water Absorb Chinchou? And if that Clamperl on the Incognition side of the field, that happens to set up, maybe we'll end up having some mind games between firing off a Surf, firing off a Hydro Pump, or firing off an HP Electric, which can get Volt Absorbed. On to Incognition side of the field, they're bringing just sweepers for days. I mean, you got the Dwebble, the Axew, which can SD, or not SD, well, it can SD, but can also DD, DD Mega Doodoo, right? A Drifloon, which can get Acrobatics boost, a Clamperl, which is most definitely going to be Shell Smashing, Abra, which doesn't really have sweeping potential, but putting a big chunk into something, right? And maybe could sweep if it's the right set and the right circumstances. And a Volibee, which could be nasty plot. So honestly, all 6 Pokemon just huge threats, which leads me to believe that Dwebble's probably hazards and that Volibee's probably support. But we'll see. We will see, and probably a Focus Sash Abra, I would think, on the Incognition side of things. I don't know if we're going to see anything too freaky on this side of, on this style of team, but we'll see. So anyways, we got a Chinchou lead from Termnal, a Volibee lead from Incognition. Switches out right away, goes into Axew, breaks the mold on the Volt Switch, but that is a Electric Resist. Ponyta comes in, scares that thing out. Dwebble coming in on a Will-O-Wisp. Don't really want that thing burned, but if it's hazards, it's not the end of the world, which it probably is. Flame Charge from the Ponyta, setting up a little bit. Weak Armor Boost from the Dwebble, which just sets up Stealth Rocks. Good play. Ponyta's still going to be faster here, and just straight up knocks that thing out with the Flare Blitz, so it can't set up any more hazards. I think that's a good play by Termnal. Set up a Flame Charge on that Volibee, gets a big crit. Can outspeed that Volibee too, even though it just got a Weak Armor Boost. There's Nasty Plot. Okay, I was wrong about this thing being support, but it's just going to drop to a Flare Blitz, so Termnal up, 6 Pokemon to 4. Okay, Incognition sending out the Axew here. Big Will-O-Wisp miss, gets off a big Outrage crit. The thing get Flame Body, I think I asked that last time. It does, so dodged a potential Flame Body there. Could have been Flash Fire, I guess, but probably Flame Body. Sludge Bomb Poison as this Axew's locked in. Could be Choice Scarfed. Takes some poison damage. Abra comes out and just sacks it to a Psychic. That's fair. Drifloon coming out here. Eats a Psychic. Gets off an Acrobatics. It's going to be able to outspeed now. That is not a Focus Sash Abra, by the way. So it's either Life Orb or Scarf. Gets a last-ditch Sucker Punch off on a Chinchou, which also has Sucker Punch of their own. Didn't even know that. And then takes this thing out with a Destiny Bond. So it looks like we're not going to be seeing any Clamperl Mind Games here, because Chinchou's out. And just like that, Incognition's back into this battle. Okay, Clamperl coming out on the Mind Food. Mine's probably gonna click Fake Out. No, sets up a sub as Clamperl clicks Surf. Good play by Incognition, knowing that could have been a possibility. Takes a high jump kick, fires off another Surf. Diglett versus the world here. How's this gonna go? Diglett's on a balloon, not like that matters. Earthquakes the Clam. And Abra is Sash, so it's gonna take a Sucker Punch and get off a Psychic and just knock this thing out clean, because Diglett is frail as hell, especially if it's on a balloon and not a Violite, which is not like a Violite Diglett's really all that common. I mean, Life Orb or Balloon, right? But anyways, yeah, Incognition up 1-0 here in a tight, fast-paced match. Only 16 turns here, or game, I should say. And let's get into game 2. All right, here we go. Game 2, Termnal Incognition, round 3 of Babymonochrome. Here we go. Termnal bringing a Carvanha to this match to go along with an Omnimite, a Fungus, another Pokemon we haven't seen too much usage of. I think it's a very good Pokemon, though. Gets Regenerator, of course, which any kind of HP recovery is a good thing, just because you don't see leftovers really that much, or if ever. Drifloon, Drillbur, which is probably going to be Scarfed, and a Porygon as well. So a little bit more of a bulky team, a little bit more balanced, I would say. Incognition who brought all of the offensive threats last game, bringing a little bit more of a balanced team this time around. I'm mainly looking at that Natu and that Porygon as kind of more defensive-leaning Pokemon. Timber 2 in its own way, though it's looking to set up bulk ups. It has priority, which is something that Carvanha from Terminal's Carvanha is going to have to look out for. Same with the Omnimite, too. I mean, Incognition's probably looking to preserve that Timber and not get too frisky right off the bat there. Also bringing a Volibee, a Tortuga, which is looking to set up a Shell Smash. Might be packing Stealth Rocks, too, unless they've got that on the Diglett. So, there you go. Let's get into it. Porygon lead from Terminal. Porygon lead from Incognition. Okay. T-Wave. Toxic. Okay. Interesting. So both players exchanging some status here. Terminal gets out of there, switching to the Omnimite on the Tri-Attack. No hacks. And just goes for the knockoff. Good play. Weak armor boost for the Porygon here. Hold up a sec. I just thought of something. So does this Porygon trace weak armor from the Omnimite because it couldn't trace any? Interesting. Okay, so check this out. Turn 1, both Pokemon have trace, but they just trace each other's trace, right? They exchange their status. Okay, Omnimite comes in here, and Porygon traces the weak armor on while it switches in. That is a Gen 5 mechanic I didn't know about. So there you go. Tracing after the switch in, not something you see every day. Anyways, weak armor boost after the knockoff as this Porygon just clicks Toxic on the Omnimite here. So 2 Pokemon poison now for Terminal. Natu switching in. Terminal knows better than to set up hazards there. Clicks knockoff. Good play. Porygon coming back in here. Tracing Magic Bounce. And gets an unfortunate drop on a Psychic there. So he's going to have to switch out there. Drifloon comes in as... Oh, Natu sets up a Calm Mind. Takes an Acrobatics decently well, but not able to follow up. And Drifloon can actually just knock that thing out with another Acrobatics there. Diglett coming out here. Clicking Destiny Bond. Okay, so both Pokemon are going to go down here. 5-4. Incognition choosing Tortuga as Fungus comes out. Definitely want to get out of there. Porygon switching in. Traces Regenerator. Stunforce wouldn't do anything anyways. Omnimite coming back out as Incognition really wants that Tortuga in to maybe get a sweep going here. Takes a Scald, no burn. There's the Shell Smash. Very fortunate not getting burned there. And this Tortuga is looking to clean house. Going to take the Omnimite out with a Waterfall. Fungus coming out here. Stone Edge doesn't quite get there. And a Giga Drain will knock that thing out. I don't think the crit mattered whatsoever. That's ×4, -1 special attack defense. So Volibee coming out here. Porygon tracing that weak armor on the switch in, takes an Air Slash. And then Timber switching in on the Porygon here as it just recovers up. Timber taking a Psychic here, and there's the Bulk Up. Okay, so Timber looking to put in some work here. Don't know if that's in Mach Punch range. He's gonna take a T-Wave. Oh, it might... Well, I was gonna say it might be in Mach Punch range now, but They click Drain Punch anyways. That's a Guts boosted Timber most likely. Boom, just clicking Synthesis here as the Timber has Payback. Yeah, definitely Guts. That did so much damage. Sets up more boosts. Yeah, good idea. Why not? Can't get poison from the Sludge Bomb. And, yep, Mach Punch after the Payback. Yeah, good play. Drillbur coming out here. I don't know if this thing can take out that Timber at that range with the Earthquake. No, not even close. Drain Punch is a one-hit KO, and this Carvanha's looking like it's going to get decimated by a Mach Punch. Yep, so Incognition playing it smart with the sweepers there. And again, preserving the Timber was definitely the key there, I think. Just knowing that Termnal's team quite weak to Timber. I mean, I forgot to mention the Porygon in the team preview that doesn't appreciate Timber either. So you can deal with things that threaten this Timber. Then you can just set up some bulk ups and go to town with Mach Punch, Payback, whatever. So yeah, Incognition keep going in the winner's bracket here. Moving on to the final 8 of winner's bracket. While Terminal's falling to the loser's bracket and probably looking to put in some serious damage there. It really depends on what their round 4 match is going to be. But, yeah, or round 5 match, I should say, because, yeah, Terminal won't fall to the loser's bracket until the next wave of loser brackets match are done. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing right now because the winner's bracket has 2 weeks for their round 3 matches, while the loser's bracket only has 1 week, and then round 4 starts. And round 4 is exclusively loser's bracket. So, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. So, Terminal going to be joining the loser's bracket for round 5, I think, if I added that all up correctly. Whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that. And thanks for watching. Peace.